As you'll, I'd say things went pretty much as expected today. Multiple suspensions in the aftermath of yesterday's post-game melee between Michigan and Wisconsin. As expected, the most significant punishment handed to Juwan Howard. He's been suspended for the final 5 games of the regular season, fined as well. Will be eligible to return for the Big Ten tournament. Here's the rest of what came down from the Big Ten today. Howard, as we said, 5 games and a $40,000 fine. 2 Wolverine players, Musa Diabate and Terrence Williams, suspended for 1 game. Wisconsin coach Greg Gard was fined $10,000. Badgers player Jacoby Neath suspended for a game. Howard did release a statement as well, saying, quote, "After taking time to reflect on all that happened, I realized how unacceptable both my actions and words were and how they affected so many. I'm truly sorry. I'm offering my sincerest apology to my players and their families, my staff, my family, and the Michigan fans around the world. I would like to personally apologize to Wisconsin's assistant coach Joe Krabbenhoft and his family, too. Lastly, I speak a lot about being a Michigan man and representing the University of Michigan with class and pride. I did not do that, nor did I set the right example in the right way for my student athletes. I will learn from my mistakes, and this mistake will never happen again. No excuses." So again, I think in terms of Howard, this is what was expected. They have this 5-game window before the Big Ten tournament. He will sit that out. I am guessing this also comes along with the understanding that Howard needs to control himself from here on out. This is the second very public on-court incident that he has had. So we will see how things go. He has vowed that this will not happen again going forward.
Well, Dan, you said it. This is the second time that Howard has lost his temper over something that would seem to be minor. If it happens again, could he be fired?
Yeah, Hugh, that's tough to say. And certainly that would be a question that the Michigan Athletic Department and the Board of Trustees and folks in Ann Arbor would have to answer. But if you're asking my opinion, I would say, look, this has happened twice. He's now been suspended for 5 games. If for some reason there was another altercation on the court that seemed to be precipitated by Juwan Howard, I think it would be very difficult for him to survive that. You just don't put that face on your team and your university, and certainly you don't do it twice.
And he apologizes tonight. He could have done the same thing yesterday.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point as well. And I think that's one of the things that bothered a lot of people in the aftermath of what happened yesterday was his attitude after the game was one in which he had done nothing wrong. When you can't find anybody that didn't think Juwan Howard did something wrong yesterday. Whether or not Greg Gard precipitated some of this, it didn't matter. It was uncalled for what Juwan Howard did, and to take a swipe, a swing, whatever you want to call it, at the assistant coach for another team, you can't do that. This apology, whether in part or in whole, should have come yesterday. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're where we are today. There was going to be a suspension either way. Perhaps it was less if he'd been more remorseful yesterday. But to your point, that was not a good look after the game for Juwan Howard.
All right, Dan, thank you. Much more to come on this one.
You got it.